Boogie, drop that beat.
Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, Talking Out Loud with Miss Talkative. Everything I say is my own opinion, alleged, and strictly entertainment purposes. Remember, I'm just talking out loud. Please like, share, subscribe, comment on the video, let me know what you think. The one time when people could have not labeled Carlos as the asshole that he actually is, he proves the people right every time. Now, he posted a weak, flat, bland, unmentionable post about Keke passing. Well, I'm going to assume that it's about Keke because he never put her name in the post, and the post just seemed like it was randomly stated, like it could have been auto-generated or mimicked from somebody else's sympathy card. But Carlos, he could have at least included her name, a picture, something more personal about her, somewhere in the post. I mean, I know that people process and deal with people transitioning all the time in so many different ways on their own time, but I just think that Carlos, I think he's full of mess by posting this bland, unmentionable post as if people are supposed to guess who he's speaking about. Keke was his employee, and for him to send out this post not mentioning her name, not doing anything, it's like he didn't care. I bet had it been somebody that Carlos did like on his cast, we would have seen nothing but great posts, great tributes going all up and down his timeline. But for Keke, he can't even mention her name. I thought that was so disrespectful. I wonder if Carlos made this weak post because if he tried to act like he cared, the people may call him out for being a hypocrite, because we all witnessed Carlos and his bias and negative treatment, his biased behavior and his negative treatment towards Keke. Carlos, in my opinion, he treated Keke like shit. And he allowed Keke to be treated like shit on Love and Marriage Huntsville. When Carlos had the interview with Keke, it was like a totally different interview than any of his other interviews with the Love and Marriage Huntsville cast. Carlos acted uninterested, like Keke was boring him, like he didn't want to be there. And then on Love and Marriage Huntsville, instead of Carlos allowing Keke to show her family life, allowing her to interact with her husband, with her kids, allowing people to get to know who Keke actually is, which Keke has stated several times that she did film, he didn't allow Keke to show up as Professor Keke, who people was looking to see. Carlos wanted Keke the fighter, Keke the mess maker. Carlos thought that he was doing something by bringing Keke in on Love and Marriage Huntsville with a bang. But I felt as though he was so wrong the way he did it, because he could have brought her in with a bang in so many other different ways. But instead, he aired her alleged Home Depot incident, and he allowed all the cast to give their reactions without him giving any research or any follow-up information whatsoever. And he kept airing it time after time after time, just exploiting it. Carlos, in my opinion, he intentionally helped the Scotts set Keke up for that whole Marshall threesome mess to help the Scotts have a storyline. And so they could be able to discredit Keke for whatever Keke would have told or they thought she was going to tell or share about the Scott's marriage. But even with all the people waiting and wanting her and encouraging her to go ahead on and share, you can tell Keke was very reserved. She didn't want to do it. But even if she was, they made sure to go after her first. Carlos also, after Keke was dogged out by both Tisha and Marshall at Kimmy's barbecue, he sat there and let Marshall dog the mess out of her. And instead of him bringing in a therapist right after that, now he did allow the scene where Melody had Keke take a drug test to prove her innocence and that she was clean. But still, you would have thought after an incident that was so heavy, that was supposed to have been so insulting, or who is that, Tisha trying to act like she was so traumatized about, you would have thought that Carlos would have brought in some type of therapist to speak to the group. But it wasn't until they went on a Houston trip, which it was stated that that trip happened months later. And when Keke tried to apologize, they all was saying it was too little too late because so much time had lapsed from when the last time they seen her. But was that really her fault? I mean, it could have been, because yeah, people could have reached out, but at the same time, I really believe that she was set up. I've been saying it from the get-go. I believe they all had a helping hand in it, even Stormy, to set her up. I believe the Scotts wanted to get her before they thought that she was going to air them out or steal Tisha's shine. And I believe that Stormy helped and went along with it. Stormy was being, two-faced in it. And I believe Carlos did it just so the Scotts can have a storyline. Because why else bring the fake mess onto the show? It's like, and even on the Houston trip, Keke, she was the only one that we seen get reprimanded, the only one that got lashed out towards on the Houston trips from the therapist of, her faults, her mishaps, her wrongdoing. And it just seemed to me that Carlos, it seemed like he always zeroed in on any and all negative moments of Keke for Love and Marriage Huntsville ratings and airings. But the moment she lived up to what they wanted her to be, it seemed like she was shunned from the group. She was disinvited to filming engagements, and she started being dragged all across social media. And the way Carlos grilled Keke at last year's reunion, not giving a care about Keke, her husband, her family, or even her kids, that just told the whole story of how Carlos, that cast, the Scots, how they felt towards Keke. But if Carlos felt Keke was wrong about speaking out of line and misspeaking about Love and Marriage Huntsville, why didn't he make her a special guest at his Huntsville podcast to question her? Or at least he could have had a one-on-one sit down with her to find out where her head was at, what was she thinking, and so he could have gotten the whole story. Instead, what did Carlos do? He took the word of a blogger and that, released different parts, different segments, and at any given time, no particular order. So I feel as though Carlos owed Keke more than that. Because when it came to Stormy and the rest of the lunatics of Huntsville, Carlos supports them 100% against bloggers. 100%. But Carlos exploited Keke's mistakes and covered up all his other cast outgoing madness. Well, their ongoing madness. And Keke she was, to me, at least, she was one of the few people on Love and Marriage Huntsville that was keeping it 100 and didn't back down from her truth. Whatever was brought out about her, she faced it head on, and I appreciated that. But Carlos, he has been so disrespectful towards Keke on Love and Marriage Huntsville. And now Carlos got the nerve to continue to disrespect Keke with this unmentionable post. I think this is sad. But anyway, that's just my opinion. I'm just talking out loud. Please like, share, subscribe. Comment on the video. Let me know what you think.